So at this point, you only have one piece left to do. The head's assembled, the front and back of the body, the arms are sandwiched inside the body, and then these legs are attached. So what we have left is one big base piece. And this piece is cool because the feet curve up all on their own, and you don't have to put any circle foot pads to get that shape. So I'll just kind of walk you through the pinning process so you can see how this piece attaches. These are the legs, this is the tummy, and this matches up with the back center mark and the tail. So right sides fabric together. We'll just start back here with the tail. I like to start pinning on a big piece like this where I'm going to leave the opening, just so I don't forget to do that. And again, the way that I mark the opening is by putting 2 pins in on each edge, just to remind myself when I get to that point not to stitch it. So this is the tail here sandwiched in the middle, the center back marking, and then the back marking on the base. When you hand stitch, this tail can be a little bit of a additional complication just because it's extra layers, but it's already sewn onto the back, so you just really need to attach it to the base. So I'll leave that section open and then just work my way around. So this marking lines up with the seam between the back and the tummy. No, between the back and the leg. And just keep working our way around. This next marking has a match on the other side. And then again, that's what I just do. I work my way around. I do all of the markings first. And then when I get to a difficult place, I go back and add more pins. This lines up with the seam between the foot and the leg. And because of the dart that's here, or I guess, I don't know what to call this, the opposing curves that are here, it gets pulled in, which makes pinning it a little more tricky. So you will probably come back and add some extra pins into this place. For the foot itself, I like to go to the middle first of these 3 markings and the middle of the 3 markings on the foot pad. It just helps keep everything lined up. So we'll pin that. And then we go back to the other marking between the 2 pieces. And for curves especially, you may want to add a lot more pins, especially right here where it meets up with those 2 opposing curves on this side. That will kind of pull the fabric in a difficult way sometimes. Okay, so we have the foot pad attached, and then again, this next mark is the seam between the 2. So as long as you take it slow, follow these markings, you can definitely do this. It does take a little bit more time sometimes to match these pieces up. Okay. This next mark lines up with the seam between the leg and the tummy. And we'll just continue around. I'll show you the belly marking, and then you just repeat because it's symmetrical for the other side of the piece. So there's the tummy, again, tummy, leg that you've been attaching the foot pad and the leg to. Well, it's not a foot pad, but it's all part of the base. It just curves up and becomes sort of that faux look. Okay, so we line the tummy markings up, and then we just continue around the rest of the pattern piece, matching up the leg to the base, all the way around back to where we marked to leave open. And then you stitch that entire perimeter, and you will turn the bear right ways out through this opening and stuff it. If you would like more space and flexibility for that, you absolutely can. You can move the pins out farther, just a little bit more hand stitching. But in many cases, that's worth it, especially if you're using a thicker fabric, like a fleece, for example. Having extra space for turning and stuffing can really come in handy.